Amid a terrifying war that has been raging for 3 years, Ukraine has struck a blow at the heart of Russia that could prove to be the most shocking moment of this conflict. Ukraine has launched a powerful drone attack on 4 major military airbases located in Russia's remote Siberian region. In these attacks, Russia's bomber aircraft, those that used to launch missiles at Ukrainian cities from long distances, were destroyed. Ukraine's intelligence agency, the SBU, claims it has inflicted more than $7 billion in damage to Russia's military aircraft. These drone strikes are not only clear evidence of Ukraine's technological prowess and strategic planning, but they could also prove to be actions that change the course of this war. But the astonishing thing is how these drones were delivered deep inside Russia. How did these drones manage to strike from such a distance? Ukrainian officials revealed that the entire operation, codenamed Spiderweb, had been in planning for the past 18 months. The drones were smuggled into Russia, hidden under the roofs of small wooden sheds. These sheds were later loaded onto trucks and brought right up to the Russian military bases. Then, using a remote control system, the roofs of the sheds were opened and the drones took off and attacked the aircraft. In the video released to the media, you can see Russian bombers, including heavy warplanes like the Tu-95 and Tu-22, engulfed in flames. The main job of these aircraft was to launch missile attacks on Ukraine. Now, they themselves have become victims of destruction. Some images also show the sheds where the drones were hidden. The roofs of these small wooden sheds are open, and inside, the drones are sitting comfortably, as if goods are stored in a warehouse. Another video surfaced on Russian Telegram channels showing how people on these trucks made a failed attempt to stop the drones from taking off. It is being reported that President Zelensky himself supervised this intelligence operation. Before this action, Russia had also fired 472 drones and 7 missiles at Ukraine, which was the largest single-night attack so far. In these attacks, at least 12 Ukrainian soldiers were killed and more than 60 were injured. On the other hand, 2 separate incidents also occurred in Russia, which Russian authorities are calling sabotage. One incident happened in the Kursk region and the other in Bryansk, where explosions broke bridges and trains derailed. At least 7 people were killed and many injured in these incidents. Although no one has claimed responsibility for these attacks, Russia has labeled them as acts of terrorism. All these events are happening at a time when, today, Monday, a new round of peace talks between Ukraine and Russia is set to begin in the Turkish city of Istanbul. Ukraine was initially hesitant to participate in these talks, but now President Zelensky has announced that a delegation led by his defense minister will go to Istanbul. Zelensky said that their top priority is a complete and unconditional ceasefire. Along with this, the return of Ukrainian prisoners and abducted children is also on the agenda. The plan Ukraine has prepared for the talks is based on the existing UN Charter. Ukraine has also made it clear that it will never recognize the Russian-occupied territories and will demand reparations from Russia. On the other hand, Russian President Putin had set a condition last year that if Ukraine abandons its intention to join NATO and withdraws its forces from the territories Russia has occupied and declared as its own, the war could end immediately. But now it seems that the situation on the battlefield is changing. Ukraine, which was considered weak in the face of Russian weapons since the beginning of the war, is now carrying out intelligence operations that are striking at the very heart of Russia. The question is, will these actions open the way to ending the war, or will both sides adopt even more hardline positions? Since the Tu-95 and Tu-22 were attacked in this strike, let us tell you about these aircraft. The Tu-95 is a long-range strategic bomber developed by the Soviet Union, and it is still part of Russia's air fleet. This aircraft was first built in the 1950s, but even today, equipped with modern technology, it is considered one of the most important weapons of the Russian Air Force. Its most prominent feature is its 4 powerful turboprop engines, each with dual propellers that, while flying just below the speed of sound, produce a thunderous and intimidating noise. This sound can be heard from far away, and just by hearing it, the enemy can sense the destruction coming from the sky. The Tu-95 was originally designed to carry nuclear bombs, but over time, it has been modified and can now also carry cruise missiles. The Russian Air Force uses it to launch long-range missiles, especially the Kh-101 and Kh-55 types of cruise missiles. In the Ukraine war, these planes have been used multiple times to attack Ukrainian cities, as they can target objectives thousands of kilometers away without leaving Russian airspace. The most astonishing thing about this aircraft is that despite being so old, it is still fully operational. Its cruising speed is about 830 kilometers per hour, and once refueled, it can fly up to about 15,000 kilometers. Its crew consists of about 7 to 8 people, including a pilot, co-pilot, navigator, gunner, and radio operator. The Tu-95 has several variants, such as the Advanced Electronic Warfare version, the Naval Maritime Patrol version, and the Modern Bomber version. During the Cold War, this plane repeatedly demonstrated its presence by flying close to American borders. Even today, when it approaches any NATO country, fighter jets are immediately scrambled to intercept it. Now, talking about the other destroyed aircraft, the Tu-22, known in the West as the Backfire, is a supersonic aircraft developed by the Soviet Union, specifically designed for long-range bombing, missile attacks, and targeting naval assets. The need for this aircraft arose during the height of the Cold War, when the Soviet military needed a plane that could threaten large American or NATO naval vessels, especially aircraft carriers. This aircraft, thanks to its 2 powerful jet engines, can fly faster than the speed of sound, and its special feature is its variable sweep wings, which can change angles during flight to improve speed and control. Can not only fly fast at low altitudes, but also evade enemy radar by flying low to reach its target. The Tu-22 is both a bomber and a missile carrier, capable of carrying dangerous anti-ship missiles like the Kh-22, which are used to target specific naval ships. This aircraft has also been reported in the Ukraine war, where it is capable of launching cruise missile attacks from a distance. It can cover about 5,000 kilometers in a single flight, and with in-flight refueling, its range can be further increased. It has a crew of 2 to 3 people and is capable of carrying out operations against ground, naval, and, when necessary, aerial targets. The Tu-22 has demonstrated its power in conflicts in Afghanistan, Syria, and Ukraine. Its high speed, strike capability, and missile-carrying capacity have always made it a formidable threat to the enemy. Although it is not equipped with modern stealth technology, its speed, altitude, and ability to launch sudden attacks still make it a fearsome weapon. So, Ukraine has struck Russia in a place it could never have imagined. What Russia will do in response remains to be seen. However, Ukraine has put several of its regions on high alert. Ukraine fears that Russia will retaliate by launching ballistic missiles. That's all for now. Subscribe for more.